and liver with benefits. This is part 4. My name's Alison. I'm going to show you how to do a really healthy, really tasty homemade chicken casserole. So I've got my chicken. These are chicken thighs, which are the best meat because they've got the most flavour in. £1.49 for 5. Family of 4, you know, what you can do the math, less than 50 pence each. So what I've done, I've already browned some off, and Mr. P, and I put it in my slow cooker. If you don't have a slow cooker, an ordinary oven-proof dish, covered it up, stick it in. So this is the last one. I've just finished browning, so there is extras to go around if you want it. Now I'm taking the skins off. You don't have to, but I think it's a little bit healthier this way. So I'm just going to snip off this bit. It's a bit fiddly, so we're going to turn him over. Oh, come here. Like I said, the chicken thighs are the actual tastiest bit of the meat, and they're the cheapest cut. Now, before you start cooking any meat, especially chicken, beef, you know, any meat at all, those lovely guys, the hairy bikers, advise you to take it out of the fridge and bring the meat up to room temperature before you start cooking, just like you would if you could ever afford a nice piece of steak or anything like that. Because the fibres in the meat, let's get that bit of fat off there. The fibres in the meat, once it goes from one temperature to another, sort of tenses, and that's where you get your tough meat. So that has been brought up to room temperature. I'm lying them in there for now. I'll show you how to make the sauce in a minute. Just move it off the fat, off the heat. Now I've been using tinned veg, and there's nothing wrong in tinned veg. We've got your sliced carrots, we've got sliced potatoes, and we've got sliced garden peas. I've only chosen these. Sorry, I've only chosen these because, don't roll your eyes at me, Mr. P. I've only chosen these because that's what Mr. P and I like to eat. But you can put any veg in there you want. Right, and what I've also done, I've saved the water from the potatoes because we're going to need that for our stock. So you're still getting all the goodness. Right, I've had no added oil in that whatsoever. So now we're going to add our onions and garlic. Mr. P's looking a bit embarrassed now, but we all make mistakes, don't we? One too many last night, maybe. Okay. All that, do you want to come a bit closer, Mr. P, so that people can see? All that is cooking in those chicken thigh juices. So all that flavour is running right through to the onions. You don't need to cook them for very long because you're going to be putting them in a slow cooker or a casserole dish, so they're going to be cooking in the oven anyway. Get all that flavour in. They're not burnt, they're coloured with flavour. And we're going to add our potato stock, just to give it a little bit. That's it. Lovely. Get that going. I'm going to add a chicken stock cube just to add a little bit more flavour to it, just to give it that bit of depth. And that will come to the boil. Need a little bit more of that water there. And we're going to leave that just to simmer and come to the boil. All melted in. Mr. P, can you put it on pause, love, because nobody wants to watch the onions cooking. Hiya. Right, now we've got our onions. Mr. P, do you want to come a bit closer so the guys can see what I'm doing? Now they're just bubbling nicely away there. Now you can see it's a little bit thin. So what I'm going to do, very, very good trick, my mother taught me. Don't have any corn flour to thicken up your sauce. A couple of spoonfuls of flour into a little mug or cup. Bit of cold water, let it nice and drizzle, and just stir and stir and stir until it becomes like a thick sort of thicker paste, like the consistency of double cream almost. There we go, a little bit more, like this. So it's quite, just keep on stirring until all the lumps have gone. And a little bit more water in there, I think, maybe. There we go. Now to thicken that up, we're going to pour this really slowly so it doesn't go lumpy, because you don't want that, you don't want lumpy chicken. Okay. And stir at the same time and just drizzle that in, and you can see it's starting to thicken and have a nice creamy consistency with it. That's what you want. Look at that, lovely. Now to flavour, obviously, your seasonings. Nice bit of salt. Good bit of pepper in your hand first. And what I'm adding today is smoked paprika, because I did this the other day. It was absolutely gorgeous. Quite generous with that. I mean, you can add, as it's cooking, you can add whatever you want to it, really. However, you can even make it into a chicken curry in the slow cooker or in the oven. As long as you've got, oh, it smells lush. As long as you've got those basic ingredients. Get a clean spoon. Give that a taste. Oh, that tastes like Texas barbecue. It's lush. Right, we'll turn that off now because we don't need our oven anymore. Now I've added my tinned veg. Like I said, nothing, they're actually all in there. The can of peas, the can of carrots, a big can of potatoes. That is actually your 5 a day in the same pot for, what did I pay, £1.32 or something daft. Put your sauce in. That's Mr. Peter Washer. Only joking. Alright, so now your juices from the chicken, we're going to add more juice to your sauce. It's going to add so much more flavour. And then if you've got a slow cooker, which is great, you simply pop the lid on. What time is it now? 2:15, at about 6. On medium, leave it. If you haven't got a slow cooker, what you can do is either put it on very, very low in the oven for a good couple of hours, it's got to be over 75 degrees to get the bacteria out. So I would say about 80 to 90 covered. Or if you want to make it a bit later, in the oven for an hour or until the chicken is nice and tender, about 175. And there you have it. Cheap as chips, 64p a portion that is, and that's for a family of 4, and that's 5 pieces of chicken in there. You can't go wrong. It's a great family meal, full of vitamins. There's nothing in there but chicken, veg. That's it. Hope to see you soon. And remember, don't squeeze your tin peas too hard. See ya.